is now time. You thought you knew everything about the purple, but we have the greatest pontificator of the purple joining us here on his own podcast. The world is not big enough to have another podcast. That's a camera. People are looking at you at YouTube right now.
Up close.
Little children are running away. This one's going to fall over. Look, we can put you on this one too here. We'll just zoom in.
Watch this.
There you go. This is beautiful. This podcast, if we could call it that, is called Star Truck.
Star Truck or Starstruck?
Well, I
Why'd
thought
you mess it up on purpose?
No.
It's like me trying to say
helpful hardware folk.
Ace
Same
is the place
thing.
with the helpful hardware.
You might as well start right there.
I mean,
why don't we give
why
a
not?
tip of the cap to the wonderful people at Ace Hardware?
And so we can do that. And I want to apologize. I wanted Amanda Stender, who helped me set up this whole deal with Ace Hardware, to come in today. She didn't feel well. She texted me and said, I'm sick today. She can't make it next week. She'll be in Texas. And then the following week, she will be in. She's helped me set up the whole thing with Ace Hardware for this podcast sponsorship. So, and Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. God,
Folks. Marshall Folk.
Marshall Folks. Zumbrota, Rosemount, Farmington, and Egan would be where you would go to step into one of the Pleachy Ace Hardware stores. Do that today. Paint is the big deal down there. Clark Kensington, Benjamin Moore, stop in. Let some of the people help you there that are right at the store. They've been in business for like 34 years now, the whole family. So do that today. Superstar said so. Man, oh man.
Is Clark there?
Kensington's here today.
Oh, okay.
Clark?
Yeah, I just didn't
He's
know
not
if you
in.
ran into him at the Zumbrota branch. I thought I saw him there one day.
No, I haven't. I mean, I ran into Benjamin. He was there.
He's funny. That guy just freaks me up every time I see him.
I can't get enough of him. I guess
No,
I need
I'd like-
more. I just need more and more all the
You
time.
beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Hey, listen,
So
we got a
intelligent.
story time today, kids.
Yeah, yeah.
The hell with the purple and all that garbage dumpster stuff. Story time.
Let's go. Everybody,
Hang
gather
on tight.
around.
Hang on tight. Hang on tight. There will be part 2 to this story. You know my stories are good stories, Jim Rich.
They are spectacular.
Brady. You know that my stories are good, right? Amazing. Stealing the van was a big deal. That was a big deal. That was a good story. Everything turned out okay. No one got hurt. And I took the van back, even though I stole it. This one's a little bit different.
Okay.
Happened at Milo Barbell Club, right out of my 3-car garage known as Milo Barbell. I'm training a couple guys right at the end of the day. One brother and another this kid's brother rolled in from college. He didn't play that week. He was hurt, so he rolled in from River Falls to just visit.
Okay.
Came back to visit his brother while he was working out. Well, he shows up, and he asked the question, hey, did you ever get that crossbow that you were thinking about ordering about 5 months ago? I said, I ordered it, and I've got it. It's in the box upstairs, completely unassembled. It looks like 20,000 different directions. I need time to think it through and build it. I'll do it now, he says. I'll build the crossbow. Well, I mean, your brother's lifting. I don't know how long I'm going to be with him. That's okay. While you guys are doing it, don't worry about it. I'll build the crossbow. I said, it's in the house, in the kitchen, in a box on the floor. Go ahead and just get it. Bring it down here and just have at it. Just knock yourself out. So he goes upstairs, comes down with the crossbow. We're still working through the whole routine that I've got his kid brother going through, and he's building this crossbow. He finally gets it done after about an hour and a half. It was difficult for him to put together. And I said, did you finally get through the instructions? And he goes, finally. I didn't know anything about this thing, but the parts were all there and it went together. Oh, good. That's good. So it's about 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock. It's dark.
Uh-oh.
You can't even make it. You can't make this up. So, of course, the question goes up, the question. I wonder if he put it together right and it works. right? I'm tired. I've been lifting people all day like I do every day. I wanted to go inside, grab a hamburger, some popcorn, turn on
Fox 9 News?
with Jim Rich. I was going to do that. I was tired.
I put a lot of people to sleep.
Yeah, well, I almost did too. So anyway, the bow is built. I'm gonna. Hey, I'll take a shot. I'll test it. I've had a crossbow before in my past. That's why I wanted to go out and get another one, just to have to take out in the country and set up on hay bales and just do target practice with cans and stuff like that. That's all I did. I owned one half and half with Sean Patterson from the Green Bay Packers. He and I were both in Arizona at the time. He was Arizona State, and I was with the Cardinals. We went together and bought a crossbow. Anyway, long story made longer.
Not paid well back then? You had to split a crossbow?
Well, we thought we were getting junk. So I don't really want it. Do you really want it? I don't care. I'll go in with you half, and then we can get it. Then we don't feel like we're... So we did that. And we're killing jackrabbits every night. Every single night out in Arizona, out in the desert, right? So anyway, I got the new one. Eric has built the crossbow. I'll take the shot in case stupid here didn't put it together right, and it comes straight back at me. Just in case. It's too dark outside. I don't want to fire it outside at a tree or whatever the case. They're powerful. I don't want to shoot at a tree and miss. So in the garage, in the gym.
No, you did.
Yep, I did. Loaded the crossbow. Got a scope on it. I take aim at the wall where there's no iron, there's no pictures, there's stuff on the wall, but I try and find an open spot where I can just go ahead and stick it in the wall, and we pull it out with a set of pliers or whatever the case, and it works. Now you guys can go home. I want to go get a hamburger and feed my dog. So I take the shot. It's on videotape.
Is it?
Eric says, "Can I tape it?" The guy who built it. I said, "Yeah, I don't care. Turn it on. Whatever you want to do." So I take the shot. You can see it on the video. No one knows where the arrow is or where it went after I shot it.
What?
We look for it. I've missed the stud. I was aiming for a stud in there. Garage is unfinished, and I thought I was aiming for a stud. I just missed it. Through the garage. It went through the garage. It went through my neighbor's double-paned glass door. It went through the den and stuck in a wall on the other side of the den in a wall. My neighbor comes out. We're still searching for the arrow. And he... Wow. Yeah. Yep. So Tom comes over. I've known my neighbor for a long time. I've always liked him. I didn't want to shoot him or kill him or anything. I had no intention. He comes over and says, "Mike," he yells across his fence, "My place." We're still in the garage looking for the arrow that I thought was going to be stuck in the wall. Because I've had them before. That's why I tell you the backstory. I've had them before.
Yes.
They stick in hay bales. This one went through the wall, double pane glass Anderson door, glanced up and stuck in the wall that he goes downstairs to his basement, and it's in the wall on the other, it's all the way through the wall. On the other side, he says, "Mike, what's going on over there?" He goes, "I've got an arrow in my house stuck in the wall." And I said, "That was me." What do you say? You can't just say, "Yeah, you know what? People are shooting. It's a drive-by with a car with a crossbow is shooting at us too." And one came straight through the gym and must have gone through the wall. That must be the one that's in your house.
You could have told him I had the garage door up.
Yeah.
It came from the street, went through my garage. Through
And the garage doors were up.
Yeah, that's why there's no mark in the garage door.
Right.
And it went right to your house. That's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, glad you're okay.
And that's when they call the police, and the ballistics and all the different forensic evidence says it must have come from a person inside the garage. Because it says by the angles and everything, the pristine shot it's not the JFK assassination or anything, but you would know clearly that it was. Now my neighbor Tom, poor Tom, and he's going to come in. He said he would do the show with me and talk about this. because he's really a nice
This
guy.
part of your community service that you have to do for this?
He says, what it could be. He says, what is going on over there? I've got an arrow in my house. He says it that calmly. They have 2 dogs. They have 2 teenage kids just out of high school. His wife. All of those things I just mentioned were gone. They weren't there at the house at the time.
Oh.
He was there, but he was upstairs. It's on the lower level. It went through the window, the glass door on the lower level, and then into the wall. He goes, it's in the house. Come and look at it.
So is all this on video? Did you guys go track it?
No.
Oh, you had to.
I was shaking. I mean, all I wanted to do was go inside the house. He builds this damned crossbow, and I fire it because I don't want one of them to get hurt if it builds it wrong. I've had them. I'm like, it'll stick in the wall. It'll stick in the wood, in the lumber, in the wall. It went straight through it. So anyway, I go over to the house. I go into the guy's house, and he's already pulled the arrow out of the wall. And it's got drywall all the way down the arrow to where it stopped. It's got, oh, and by the way, it doesn't have like a broad tip. It's got like it's like a dummy, sort of a dull head to it. It's like a training arrow for like target practice.
So
it still went through.
Went through everything.
It went through it. I said, Tom, I had no idea this could possibly happen. I was trying to take a shot at the safest shot I could take because they built this stupid thing that I wanted to shoot out in the country, but just to see if it worked. I said, well, I'll just, you know what? I said, are you going to report this to the... I'm not going to report it. Stuff like this happens, he says. Stuff like this happens.
Oh, yeah.
If anything...
I've had that happen all the time. Crossbows come sailing through my house all the time.
That's how good he was, though. He made it sound very, like, nonchalant. He just downplayed it. And he said, if anything, it's probably a good lesson for those 2 guys over there to not do something like that ever again. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm glad I was the mentor in that one, you know.
I was the
one that set the example, right?
I was the mature one of the
Don't
group.
do this. Yeah. And he says, well, how are you going to report this? I mean, for your insurance and everything to get the door done. I got the door covered. I got everything.
The insurance is Mike Morris Agency.
Mike Morris Agency.
He will be covering the damages.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't work that way. He says, I'm going to call my guy in the morning. I'm going to tell him that I hit a rock with my lawnmower and it put it through the window on the pane glass. And he goes, I'm not worried about the hole that was in the wall because I'll just do that. I know how to do that. I'll just put toothpaste and like sand it and like I'm done with the drywall in 2 seconds. And that was it. That was it. I said, dude, I mean, I'll take care of whatever the out of cost is, whatever it is out of pocket after you get done with your insurance. And that's what I did. So did the door shatter or was there just a hole? You know what? It was a hole and it spider glassed all the way up like a shattered window.
Right.
About halfway up the door on both, because it was pressurized, right? Between the 2 panes. And so it caused that like an eruption inside, but it splintered on the way up and cracked all the way up. It ruined the door. I mean, it hit 2 inches above the frame of the door. 2 inches above, but it glanced up and caught about 6, 8, 10 inches on the drywall on the other side of his den. There's my story. I'm sticking to it. I don't even have to lie about that one. Can you even imagine that? I told that one there's a police officer that works security at Hy-Vee.
Okay.
I know him. I've known him forever. Good guy, friend of mine, Officer Swenson. He and I are always telling stories back and forth. He catches me in there and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I got a story for you. Told him the story. He starts laughing so hard. He goes, no one was hurt, right? No one got touched. He goes, well, I've been on the other end of that where the arrow ends up in somebody's head, riding a bike down the street. He's actually had it happen, where he had to report to an incident where someone got killed with a flying arrow that was misfired. He goes, well, you ended up lucky on that one. Yeah, I said, yeah. He goes, what'd your neighbor think? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's just like, it just happens. The guy next door, Tom, I'm not going to mention his name yet, so keep it like that.
Sure.
For a living, he did nothing but set up like inflatables for like rock concerts and like the inflatables outside of the stores and store openings and grand.
Well, you could help him take him down now.
Yeah. An arrow. be so easy. You're taking so much time to deflate these things.
Right.
I've got something much better. You can do it from 1,500 yards, probably.
I don't even have to come over.
Just put the scope on it.
Just get it from my house.
Yeah. And so that's the story I've been, holding on to for a while. But I thought since I don't really have a talker today, I'll go to the story.
Well,
so I thought maybe you kids would like a starstruck story.
That's better than franchising Sam Darnold.
Yeah, who cares about it? Oh, yeah, we can talk about that too. But
so how powerful?
Same as the one that I had before years ago. 300 pounds of pressure, 300 pounds of torque. Not that big a deal. Like in terms of crossbows, it's not. The thing cost me like $350. Okay, it's not a big time crossbow. It's just not. Oh. It had a dummy tip on it.
How far away is his house from your house?
20 yards. 20 yards.
Okay.
Maybe 15, 20 yards. I could snap a football from my garage to his door. It'd be a perfect 15 yards.
I think your neighbor Tom would appreciate that more than an arrow next time.
What makes you think
that? To shoot projectiles from your home.
Can you imagine that? I went in the house shaking. The other two idiots get in their cars and go home. They're clean. They get in their cars and go home. About 5 minutes in,
they said, "Oh, we're checking out."
They heard me out as I was talking to him at the fence line, and then when I went into the guy's house to inspect everything, they took off. And by the time I get back to my place, they've already sent me quick, instructional things on how to repair siding, like house siding, because I put a hole in the house. That's how they help me. I think that the big joke of the evening came last when I was ready to leave. I just said, can I have my arrow back? Can I have the arrow back? I only got 3 in the box. That's one of them. Can I have it back? He goes, yeah, you can have it.
He snapped it in half is what I would do.
I think so too.
Here you go.
Yeah, here it is. And here it is with drywall, like white chalky up half the arrow. Story. Yep.
Wow.
Anyone, any comments? Any thoughts?
I thought these adventures were behind you. I just figured that you'd go, you know what, guys? It's dark out. We should really know what's behind us.
Yep.
Like they always tell you when you're at hunter safety when I was a kid.
Yep.
Always know what's behind your target in case you airmail your shot. And that was when we were shooting 22s, right? When we were kids.
For sure.
And picking off stuff. And, you got to make sure you're shooting into a dirt pile because that thing's going to go for 4 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Or you shoot it across a lake and it just goes pew, 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 pew.
Off the water. Yeah. Yep. Glance right off the water.
Yep. And it'll go for...
I'm a safety nut with my kids in the gym, spotting people, anything. I'm like that guy. Safety conscientious. My dad was that way. He drove me crazy, and then I got it. I finally understood after I had my own kids. And I'm thinking, this is safe to fire this blunt arrow tip into that wall over there and have it stick. And okay, it worked or it didn't work, but we're going to pull it out of the wall and call it a night. No. And it could have killed one of his dogs. It's crazy how much power that thing had. And I don't know how it happened. I don't. It happened though. But so there's no excuse. There is no excuse. It happened, and I did it. And it's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me because people would say, why didn't you think about that before you shot it? I did. The fact is I did think about it before I shot it. You don't just shoot a crossbow anywhere. So, and I still put it through a wall and in through a guy's den. So it's the craziest thing that's ever happened that I actually wade into. So there you go. Then that's the story. I have to live with that now. I was shaking in the house. 10, 15, 20 minutes. Couldn't get to sleep.
Did he call you? Or were you guys outside looking
we
for
were outside looking for it.
You figured
we see the light come on in the house. From upstairs, the lights pop on downstairs, and he comes out the sliding glass door that we now see is broken. And he says, Mike, what's going on over there? I have an arrow in my house here. He said it sounded like a gunshot went off when it went through the window. So
I bet.
It would have to, right?
Oh.
So you said we franchise Sam Darnold, huh? It doesn't even matter now. It doesn't even matter.
No. Should we? If people were looking for that opinion, do you want to franchise him?
Yeah. It's 1 year, right? Still 1 year, unless they've changed that rule.
$41 million. What he's going to cost you?
It's going to cost to bring somebody else in that can help you win. It's like pick up and go, like he did this year. It's going to cost that much at least. Who else is out there that you could bring in that already had 14 wins under his belt with your team that could give you the same chance to win and go through the playoffs this time? Or do you take your chances on him getting back, getting in rhythm, being more confident with the team and the coach, and this time getting through the playoffs? I mean, Kirk Cousins didn't get anywhere. Nope. What's he worth? I mean, yearly, what's he getting? What is he pulling down? A ton, right?
Yes.
I mean, it would have been. So it doesn't matter. The next in line gets $41 million. That's the only way I look at it. And it's a 1 year thing. If he proves that he can't hold up in playoffs, and the pressure is just too much when he gets to that stage of the season, when you get out of the regular season and into the money, you either can handle pressure or you can't. And then another year would say, okay, he can't or he can. What's been the take with you people or at the station or your take alone?
I don't want to see the Vikings throwing away an asset and not getting anything for it.
Thank you.
I say franchise him, and then you are holding all the cards. Because if someone's going to want him.
Right.
Supposedly he's the number one free agent. Why would you let him walk away for a compensatory third-round pick?
You wouldn't do that.
No.
No way.
No.
No way.
And yes, it may mess up some things or mess up McCarthy's. I don't care if we're running McCarthy or not. This is a business decision. We need to get something out of this guy because right now we're sitting with 3 picks.
Right.
Maybe 4.
Right.
So we need some stock to start loading up people. So whatever he's worth, you go to who's ever after him, whether it's Vegas or whoever wants him, and you say, all right, you're going to pay a lot more than $41 million if he gets to free agency. And you may not even get him. Whereas
That's right.
it's a
bidding game at that point. It's live money against live money.
Right. This way we could tag him, and then we'll work out a deal. So before we tag him, what are you giving us for him?
There you go.
They'll get that package done, and then you go,
Thank you very much.
And then you ship him off. If you think JJ's ready. I mean, they're saying JJ's ready. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, okay.
So then you have your quarterback
JJ's
either
ready.
way.
How many reps he got under his belt?
Correct.
Let's see, 10 in preseason.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a hell of a quarter.
Oh, yeah. Let me just say, there's no guaranteeing anything with JJ. Nothing at all. Does the knee hold up? Is he a tough kid? Will he bounce back from something like that? Has he ever had an injury like that where he's... I don't know. Maybe
I don't think he's ever been hurt.
You can't, like you said, the compensatory third-round draft
like a
choice.
third
Are
rounder,
you
I think.
kidding me? For someone who won 14 games for you, played every game, got hurt.
And he took a beating.
I took
too.
a beat down, too.
He's tough.
Yes, he is.
He's a lot tougher than I do going into this.
I agree.
He got the
and what was there to know,
stuffing
really? There
beat
wasn't that
out of
much to
him.
go on, but we found out he's tough. He's really tough. He's a big athlete. He's a strong guy, and he's tough. He'll get up and limp back to the huddle and walk it off.
Right.
Which is the offensive linemen love guys like that. They just do. But you find a guy that at least found his way by coming from the Jets here and finding a coach that could talk to him and had the rhetoric and the communicational skills to reach him and make the cues that he was using for him ring through to him. Some people can talk all day to a guy and it doesn't make any sense. It's scrambled. Or you get a guy like Tony Dungy who says one word and the light bulb comes on because he said it right. The moment was right. The coaching point was right. And the kid has it forever. And that's what must have happened in this case. So you don't get rid of him. The only thing that happened was he shocked himself in the playoffs. You could tell the look on his face was like, what am I doing? You know, you throw a ball over somebody's head once or twice and you could see the look on his face. I never do that. I would never. You could see it. It was shock.
Right.
So he was, the pressure was a new thing. He hadn't been in the playoffs with the Jets or no way. He hadn't been in Frisco's games or Carolina's games where he was in a situation like that. He was on a 14-3 team that he led the whole way to the playoffs, and the playoffs kind of got to him. And they played against a pretty good team, too, on top of it. So anyway, that's what it is for me. And it makes all the sense in the world to give him another run at it, see if it helps, see if he can do it the next time or not. But it's a 1-year deal. He's in or he's out. That's the way I look at it. And I think it's a good move.
Yeah. Speaking of good moves, maybe you should offer your neighbor some Benjamin Moore paint to fix his wall. And I bet you got a great place where you could step up and do that for him.
I do. If Tom's looking for a place, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. And they're safe people. They're good people. They're responsible people.
They don't carry
They're held
crossbows.
liable and accountable for the things that they do. So say your neighbor shoots a crossbow arrow through your house and something like that happens.
Yeah.
What happened to Tom? It happened to him. My neighbor did have that happen to him. They can cover that right up. After he puts toothpaste over it and sands it down, he's going to need some paint to match. So he needs to go into Ace Hardware, Zumbrota, Egan, Rosemount, Farmington, and pick out some paint with people who can match the paint for him. And he'll be set. He can go home and cover up the arrow hole with the paint. It's a perfect match. Give the arrow back to the guy who shot it through your house and call it a day.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later. No harm done, right?
And
the paint matches.
And maybe your neighbor would want you to drive farther away next time you get out the crossbow. So he'd want you to have a reliable vehicle so you're far enough away not to hit his house. Where would somebody go for a vehicle that would get you far away?
I thought of all that. I looked at it differently.
It's amazing how you think these things through.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking. Oh, you talk about a thinker. I wouldn't drive somewhere to have a further distance to shoot. I would get in that thing and just run, and it wasn't me. I would get in my truck that I got at Dodge of Burnsville. DOB's on the back sticker. Dodge of Burnsville. Because it's in Burnsville. Because they sell Dodge Ram. Do that. It's coincidental. It all goes together though, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're looking to get away from an incident where, say you do shoot a crossbow through your house and somebody else's house, you just want a truck that is dependable and can drive forever, for mile after mile, and get great gas mileage. So you can get to Trenton, New Jersey.
You need the great gas mileage so you don't have to stop. Because if you stop, he's
You're
right
on a camera
behind
somewhere.
you.
Yeah, and he's behind you.
Exactly.
Because he's in a Ferrari. But I just want a truck that is dependable. So I go to Dodge of Burnsville. I would do that. I would send you guys down there 9 times out of 10. No, make that 10 out of 10 and head on down to Dodge of Burnsville. Pick up a new or used car or truck. They've got plenty of both right there on the lot. So just step in there. 35W and Cliff Road in Burnsville. Mark Saba, Adam Saba. Tell them the superstar Mike Morris sent you.
All right. With that,
that's it then, right?
That's plenty to chew on.
One story and Sam Darnold, boom, we're done.
I think we're done.
Okay, so that's it. I want to say goodbye. I want to welcome all of you back. It's a safe place to join the Starstruck podcast. You can't get hurt from where you're at right now. Just turn us on. We'll be here for you. We're not dangerous all the time. But listen, for Jim Rich, myself, the superstar Mike Morris, and Brady Muller, look out, everybody. He's a man behind the big board. I want to say goodbye. Take care. If I don't do anything silly and end up in prison, I'll be back and I'll do another show for you, okay? Okay. Bye-bye.